There, we're
Amazing.
live. Now we're live. Oh, Bob, first through the door. Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Hi, Bob. Hi, Sheena. See, we had a queue. Shanika, Florence, and Eugene. Oh, hi, Eugene. I've been hearing a lot from Eugene recently. Few comments coming up on different people's posts. So, hi, Eugene. Anybody else? Knocking at the door. Eric. Hi, Eric.
I saw Brittany K. Hey, Brittany.
Oh, yeah, Brittany. Sorry, missed you, Brittany. You jumped in too fast. Okay. Right. I think that's the first little flurry. Oh, I can hear a bit of an echo.
Uh-oh.
No, it's gone now. It's all right.
Okay, good.
John. Hi, John. Okay, so we are talking today about the power of speaking your truth. And I never say who I am on these when when I do a live, whether I'm a guest or the host, unless somebody asks me who I am, I never introduce myself. So I'm going to today. So I am Sue Reid, and I am a confidence coach. And the reason I'm on Substack is really to help people build their confidence. And I think this leads into what we're going to talk about today, because I think the more you build your confidence, the more you can deal with situations that are there to break you down. Anything that comes up, if you've got a strong resilience, a strong confidence, I think you deal with it much easier. I've just been through a hard situation, and I have felt really sad, but I've dealt with it because I am so much stronger than I used to be. But that's me anyway. So just give us a quick rundown of who you are, Margaret.
Well, thank you very much, because you and I are like two peas in a pod. People always ask me, "Go, Margaret, why you don't ever introduce yourself?" Okay, and so it's like I always try to focus on other things instead of myself. Want to take the attention off myself, but it's very important for us to introduce ourselves and let people know who we are.
Thanks.
So, yes. So I'm Margaret Williams, the publisher of the Empowered Leader publication. Okay, Substack. I am a certified executive leadership coach who spent 39 years with the Army as a civilian. I retired in September of this past September. I also have a master's degree in industrial and organizational psychology. And I'm here to help marginalized leaders achieve their desired outcomes. Okay. So that's where we are. That feel better. I need to do that every time. Okay.
I think so. Yeah, I always forget, and I think perhaps I built my confidence up so much. I'm arrogant now. I think everybody knows me anyway. Everybody knows me.
You arrogant? No, never.
I never. Yeah. Anyway, so the power of speaking your truth. Why would you say it's important to be able to speak your truth?
Because otherwise, why am I here? Okay. Otherwise, it's just noise. And so people can go talk to someone else. Okay. So since I came to this juncture in the road, and I said, well, what can I do to utilize my skills, my talents, and my gifts? Since my career, that chapter has now closed. Okay. So I'm on a new chapter now. And this new chapter has brought a lot of new challenges, okay? And a lot of the same patterns from what I've already been through, okay? Because I was trained for battle from the womb, okay? For everything I came through. Been through the fire and everything else you can imagine. And I'm still here. So that means that there's something else for me to do. Okay. And that is to speak the truth so that others can become free. Okay.
Yeah.
That's if they want to.
Yes.
Okay.
I think most people want to. Well, not most people. I think everybody wants to be free. Everybody wants to be able to speak freely without being judged, rejected, criticized. But there's a lot of fear involved in that because, if I tell you my darkest secrets, you could go and tell the world my darkest secrets, or you could go and you could come back at me and tell me that I'm no good. So how how do we get past that? How do we feel the confidence to be able to say what we think and not worry about being judged? Because we can't stop people judging us. If we say something that other people don't like and they come back at us, there's no way we can stop that. But how do we protect ourselves?
Okay, yeah, let's talk about that because when you talk about vulnerability, as you said, we open ourselves up for people to utilize this information to not only improve the quality of their lives, but there are people out there that use this information to bring us down. Okay, to and that's one of the things that I want to talk about. That I have, if you haven't noticed, I have stepped back. Okay, from what I was doing before because of the things that I have gone through in my life. Okay. Like I said, people use this information that we are providing about our personal lives, okay, our vulnerabilities, which shows our weaknesses. People that doesn't mean us any good are utilizing this information to dim our light, to discredit us, okay, make us look incompetent, to gaslight us, isolate us, and to eliminate us essentially. Okay? We're seeing this in the world today as we look at the political landscape. Okay?
Yeah. There's
This
a
is
yeah,
war.
there's a
This
lot
is
of
war.
there's a lot of trying to divide us so that if we are arguing amongst each other, then we're not looking at the real villains in the picture, are we? We're
No,
too busy
and
fighting each other. Mm.
and this is designed on purpose. Okay? To keep us off track, to keep us fighting while the perpetrators are stealing our money, okay? While they're taking the benefits that we look to have when we retire. Okay, they create these distractions. Okay, if you want to take something from somebody, you cause a diversion over there, and while you're running over there to put the fire out in your house, they're stealing the gold in the church or whatever. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because you said to me a couple of weeks ago that I was maybe overreacting, or I was no, you didn't say
I think I
overreacting.
I think I'd said you said you were crazy and I said no, you said I think you think I'm crazy and I said I've always thought you were crazy. But I mean that in a
Okay,
loving way. I mean that in a loving way.
yeah, because I told you I have trust issues, and every time I turn around, people are showing me that I'm correct. Okay,
Yeah.
by their behavior. But somebody show you who they are, you don't come back for a second time to see if it's correct. Okay, they showed you specifically up front with disrespect. Okay? That they don't give a damn about you. Why come back to them for them to tell you the same thing, but in a much harsher way? Okay? I get it. Okay, bye. All right. So I was talking about this vulnerability, because we got a lot of people out here that are speaking the truth versus some lies illusions they done made in their mind. Okay? People that talk truth are the ones that are going to be attacked. And we can see that from today being Martin Luther King's birthday. He was attacked and he was killed for telling the truth. And that's why I chose today to talk about the truth and freedom and joy. Okay? The only way we can have freedom and joy in this world is to tell the truth. And I don't care who don't like it.
Mm. And
Period.
yeah, and I think you're right. We have to be strong enough and brave enough to speak the truth as we see it. Uh, but the people, I mean, you were saying about your trust issues, but not everybody is untrustworthy. I think the majority of people are in my experience, or how I like to see the world, is the majority of people are very kind, loving people and totally honest and trustworthy. But you get this small group of people, and we know that they're on Substack as well, and they are nasty, they are vicious, they are after,
And
like you say,
foul.
your information because you had your account cloned.
I did, and that's another thing too. But they are not going to stop me. And I am, every time I go on these social media sites, I'm being monitored. Let them look. I hope they're getting something out of it. Okay,
I think everybody's being monitored, though, aren't they? All the
we all
information that
are.
we put
We all
online
are.
is all going
We all
into
are.
the big data banks that they've got to be used for some purpose. I mean, yes,
Whatever purpose
advertisement,
they.
selling
I'm
us
sorry.
stuff, but there's other ways that you can use that information, isn't there, for the not so good.
Of course. Okay. You, for example, okay, Sue, we're going to sit and watch you. We're going to analyze you. We're going to see what you're saying. We're going to
You
figure out your
get
weak.
bored pretty quick if you do.
We're going to figure out your weaknesses. We're going to figure out the time that you eat lunch. What do you have in the lunch? What time you put your garbage out? What time you go to sleep? Then what time you leave the house? Then we can put monitoring devices. I mean, I can go all the way down because I work for the military,
Yeah.
okay? And when I worked for the military, they gave us this training every year. If you ever get captured, they tell you what to do and how to communicate with these people. Okay, so they got to show proof of life with something with the date on there to show you still alive, what day, with all that stuff. So we go through all that and all the stuff that I learned through my childhood. I combine all these stuff together. So whoever want to come for me, they can come for me. I don't care, and that's where I'm at today because it's just, it's just censorship, and then they want to use intimidation as a tactic. Okay, whatever you're doing, you're giving me the fuel. I'm not gonna stop. You're giving me the fuel to okay, and that.
Oh, you're frozen a little bit, Margaret. Oh, you're back. You froze for a
Okay,
second.
sorry. I've been keeping all these things in. Okay, that's
Mm,
why last year, because I've been experiencing all these things from uh all these things I have problems with it, which everyone knows. I talk about people pleasing, okay, over giving, over explaining, oversharing, overextending. And after all of that, what do you get? You're totally drained at the end of the day and you're burned out. And nobody give a damn. I'm just
and
saying.
yeah, and this goes back to what I was saying about building confidence and being strong in yourself, because all of those things you mentioned, they all stem from a low self-esteem. And that low
Yes.
self-esteem clearly came from what you went through as a child growing up and in your early years. And then, of course, when you came to leave the military, the way you were treated just before you left as well. So all of that is added into the way that you see the world, if you like.
Yes. So all of these things, make us reactive, okay?
Yeah.
And and so when you have people poking and prodding at you from various factions and various places, it's going to make you reactive, and it's going to make you crazy. If you want to see crazy, I'll show you crazy. Okay, but you don't want me. You don't want to see that. Okay, that would not be pretty. Okay, so I try to be mindful of that. Okay, and breathe and bring myself back to the present moment, because you're not going to make me go to the alley or go to the gutter, and I'm not going back there.
No,
Okay,
no.
I've been there. I lived there. Okay, so I'm not going back there. I'm not letting nobody take me back there. So
Yeah.
this is warfare. This is warfare. This is like government tactics. They use whatever tactic that they think that they can use to divert you from what you were doing, to take you on the path that they want you to go. That's what this is
Mm.
about. Power and control. The one that has the power and control rules the world. And the
Yeah.
rest of us just have to follow suit.
But
And
then,
people just walk around and don't even realize they're being controlled.
oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I think people walk around, they're sleepwalking, aren't they? These days, people don't
Exactly.
realize how much they are being controlled with, what they're shown, what they're told, and particularly what they're not told, because when we're never told the whole truth. But what you were saying about the government or whoever knows everything you do, when I mean, I wrote an article last week about being automatic, living on autopilot, but making sure that you do things differently from time to time to bring joy into your life. But it also brings safety into your life as well. Looking at what you were saying, because I mean, you said put the garbage out. I do that at the same time every Monday because that's when the dustbin man comes. So when I walk to the end of my garden, because it's the same time every week. Um, I have milk delivered 3 times a week. I get it in at the same time in the morning. So I get up at the same time in the morning, get the milk in at the same time in the morning. I go to bed at the same time most nights unless I go out. Um, I eat lunch. You mentioned eating lunch. I do that more or less the same time every day. So I do live on autopilot an awful lot. When I used to go to work, I used to drive the same way, but they used to say, because I worked in a bank, and they used to say, don't drive the same way to work
Mm-mm,
every day because
mm-mm,
somebody can track your route
mm-hmm,
and,
mm-hmm.
you could get kidnapped and held for ransom. Um, don't park in the same spot every day. Um, you had to mix it up so that people couldn't track what you were doing. And I think this is the sort of thing we don't think about because we think it's not going to happen to us.
How do we
But
know? How do we know?
exactly, exactly. And I think in this day and age, particularly in America, you do have to kind of watch your back now and think about
Yes,
what you're doing and is what you're doing safe? Because as we've seen, you don't know who's around the corner. You don't know who's going to stop your car. You don't know what they're going to do when they stop your car, as we saw.
exactly. And so these things that I've been through recently woke me up. I was naive, naive.
With
So
all your
that was a,
training. Yeah.
yeah, right. I don't know because I was in the depths of despair with my job, okay,
Mm,
and I
mm,
wasn't paying attention, and that's what the enemy looks for, that you're not paying attention.
mm.
That's when you're at your most vulnerable, weakest point, and that's when they attack you.
Yeah. Yeah.
This war, this is a war, okay? It's psychological, it's economical. They even put sex into it. Even you look at the marketing, sex sale, okay?
Mm,
They
mm.
use whatever device that's going to bring you down.
Yeah.
This is going to be your downfall. And because of my training and because of all the abuse that I suffered, I've, I have turned this into a win for me because people underestimated me. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's what we need to uh as long as people underestimate us, it allows us to stay 2 steps ahead. We need to take 2 or 3 steps ahead, okay? Because we don't know how long this battle is going to rage. Okay? So
Yeah.
just like we're trying to take them out and take our country back, you don't think they're doing the same thing? They're fighting back because they know
Mm,
that we're coming for them. If you know a person is coming for you, that's the thing. When you're in a war with somebody, you don't want them to know. You want to catch them sneak attack. Okay,
yeah.
you want to catch them when they're off, with, when they least expect. So you don't want to let them know you're coming because then they'll be waiting for you.
Mm,
Okay, don't do
yeah.
that.
Yeah. You just brought back a painful memory of mine. Well, not painful anymore, but my one of my toxic exes said to me once, if you're going to kill somebody, don't wait until they've forgotten all about you and then come for them. And you know, for years I looked over my shoulder to see if he was coming for me. I've stopped now. I've stopped now because, well, I mean, but then when I say things like that, I've stopped now. I think, well, is this what he's been waiting for? But I mean, this was like 40 years ago. So I don't think he's coming for me now, but you never know. He doesn't know
You
my
know,
name anymore and he doesn't know where I live.
you don't know that. These people become obsessed with you. They watch your social media sites. They watch you and you coming in and out of your house. They watch everything about you and document. Could you see all these what you call it, these crime mysteries? You go into
Yeah,
these people's houses, they have a board set up there with your picture, all this information. These people are crazy.
yeah.
I'm gonna give you an example, okay? My cousin was killed by this guy that she got with. She tried to get away from him. I don't know what she said to him. He killed her. He cut up her body and then set it on fire.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's awful.
Yeah. He was a narcissist and he stalked her. He did everything. And when you get a hold to people like this, I don't know what to tell you, but what you need to do is pay attention to the signs.
Mm. And did she go to the police?
Don't know. I was not that close with them, but that was something so tragic that I just recently remembered that because of the things that I've been going through recently, you know, having people stalk me and everything. So I thought about that. And it's like I put myself out there too much.
Mm.
And then I'm trying to figure out what do I want to share, if anything at all, because we're supposed to be on this platform to share our stories in order to help other people. But I don't want to become not to become a target. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I have to decide what I want to share, what I don't want to share. Do I want to stay here? Do I want to go somewhere else? What I want to do.
I
That's
mean,
where
the
I'm
thing
at
is,
at
if
this
you go
point.
somewhere else, it'll just be exactly the same. You'll find these people on every platform, but like you say, you have to be um, careful what you're sharing. We don't need to put our whole life story on one platform, on Substack, because yes, we are here to, if we want to be writers and we want to be seen and we want to tell stories, then yes, we put our personal touches into it. But if you think you're going to say something that could be held against you, then then you shouldn't share it. So Chris from the 1 Minute Daily Boost is saying, oh, sorry, I've just jumped. Right. Being vulnerable doesn't mean you're for sure revealed. Yes. What Sue said. Yeah. Yeah. So be careful what you're talking about, it's good to be vulnerable. It's good to speak your truth, but there are some things that maybe you shouldn't share if like, for example, if I told you, okay, well, this was my maiden name, and this is where I lived, and somebody that knew my ex knew it, he might think, okay, I know where she is now. You got to be careful.
Yeah, it's really scary, and I feel for a lot of these celebrities out there that
Yeah.
they have to pay for security.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm not a celebrity, but it still make you wonder, 'cause as you get up higher and higher and higher, and that's why I see why some of these people on Substack, they selective about who they respond to and when they
Yes.
respond. I see now.
Well,
Okay?
I'm selective about who I respond to, and 99% of the people that DM me, I do not respond to at all. I can tell you now, if you send me something that just says hello or hello pretty, I am going to block you. That's it. Full stop.
Exactly. And you see, I had to get comfortable with saying no and just block. And rather than to say no, I'm just going to block you because I'm going to tell you, people know that I work for the military, right?
Yeah.
And now I have people coming into my DMs that shows that they're a military officer. Okay.
Yeah.
But when I open up the profile, sometimes I'll see that they only have women that they've Um,
That is a big red flag. Yes. Yes.
yeah, and so
Yeah.
I automatically delete them. Some of these women that they have, uh, uh, um, you know, attach themselves to in their
Yeah.
profile is some of the
Yeah.
women that I know. And that's
Yeah.
another reason I want to say that. Be careful. Before you friend somebody, make sure that they have written some posts or something,
Yeah.
something activity, because that means they setting you up for, oh, where do you live? And most of
Yeah.
these people come in your DMs, can feel this automatically. My body
Yeah.
feels strange, and then I block them because they have the same MO.
Yeah.
These narcissists, okay? And so what they have this elevated uh ego, okay? This need for admiration, and they don't have no empathy, okay? But they're gonna show you their game at the beginning. Hi, where are you from? And,
Mm.
and all of this. And most of them are very highly intelligent, and they're attractive.
Are they though? I mean, are they their
Yeah.
profile pictures? Because
We
sometimes I wonder,
we don't
you
know.
can get a profile picture because I've had like Ukrainian soldiers, so-called Ukrainian soldiers,
Me
DM
too.
me using with different names, using the same photo.
Me too.
You could at least change your photo.
Okay, well, at least it wasn't just me on that one. And they're very attractive, Alexander or something. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I'm like, oh my God, these things take you away from what you're doing. Now, some of these content creators, a couple of them, I got pissed off, but I see what they're saying. They made their DMs available to only paid subscribers.
Hmm.
So that would really eliminate 99% of these messages,
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah,
I thought about that. If you want to talk to me, then you have to become a paid subscriber. Sorry.
yeah. I don't want to do that. I want people to
I
be
don't
able to
either.
contact me if they want to, but I'm always careful. I mean, I'm very careful. So I might have missed it, but is there something you do to manage your emotions regarding these situations?
Yeah, it is. I breathe. I do a lot of breathing, and I do a lot of disconnecting and reflecting back on all of these things to make sure that I'm not projecting my feelings on this. But it's like, for example, working for the military, okay, and being had to be hypersensitive when during my childhood,
Mm.
okay. When somebody's watching you. You can get that feeling. Your body tells you
Yeah,
somebody's watching you, and that's
yeah,
not a good feeling. Okay, that's invasion of your privacy.
mm,
Okay,
yeah,
so these things are disturbing. So I just like, okay, I'm not worried because that's why I don't have no skeletons in the closet. We all do. Okay, we all have skeletons in the closet. So I'm not gonna say that. But if you got something to say about me, say it, and I'll tell everybody the truth. You know, I don't have. That's why I speak truth. So you
mm,
can't come back and say that I said a lie about anything because my memory not good enough to lie. Uh, I'm serious because if you tell one lie, you got to keep lying to cover up
you
the lie
do.
that you told, and it takes too much energy for that shit. So I just tell the truth and keep
Mm,
it moving. Okay. So when I was
yeah,
talking about these narcissists, okay, because this is what our government is made up of. Okay, you surround yourself with people like you. You're not going to surround yourself with people that are not like you because you have this. You need to keep this power. You need to keep this power dynamic going. Okay, and trust. But that's the thing. When things fall, it's people that is who takes you down because that's the only people that have the information most times about where your jewels are when people steal from you, where
mm,
your jewels at, what your weaknesses is, and all of these things. Is people closest to you is the ones that you have to watch, and that's the ones who will take you down.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. Which again is why you need to be careful. especially when you meet somebody new. You need to be,
Exactly.
yeah.
Why all of a sudden you're here? What are your intentions? They're not going to tell you that. You just have to watch very closely,
Mm.
not to just what they say, what they don't say, and watch their body. Okay, body will give you away quicker than what comes out of your
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Always
I
what,
learned
what,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because I knew when my father was coming with that strap. I listen, you watch, and you pray. And yeah, so when we talk about that narcissism, it's very clear in our government system that they're going to continue to ram these things down our throats, whether we like it or not.
Mm.
Narcissists don't ask you; they tell you what to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so with all the gaslighting, you know, uh, and they can sense all of our insecurities because they know we need all of these these things to survive, but they don't care. It's ego,
Mm.
okay? It's
Power.
about
It's the
dominance.
power. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
So
abuse of power.
Chris is asking, well, he's saying it sounds like a lot of living in fear. Would you say you live in
That's
fear? Hmm.
no, no, I'm
No,
not living in fear. I'm not living in fear because if I was living in fear, I wouldn't be on here talking to you today.
no, no.
Okay? That's what they want. The enemy wants us to live in fear, and they use that fear to keep us down here. Let go of the fear, okay? And live life.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
that's what they use.
I don't live in fear. I used to. I don't anymore. I think whatever happens, happens now. So but I am always careful. I'm careful what I say, who I speak to, what I say to people, how much information I give out. But that doesn't mean it doesn't make me closed. I still speak my truth. I still show vulnerability. I'm still happy to tell people about my life, but I'm careful who I tell. But when you are writing stuff on Substack, you don't know who's going to read it. And there's millions of people out there who are reading it. So this is another reason why we need to be a little bit careful of what we're writing, and what information we're giving away about ourselves.
True. I'm still gonna speak my truth. I'm just gonna be careful
Yeah.
about it, about
Yeah.
how I go about it. Okay. And one of the things we need to pay attention to is pattern recognition when we meet people. Okay. That tells you a lot about people because manipulators, you know, like I said, they sit back and analyze and watch you and see where your weaknesses are and play on those things. Okay. And so we have to pay attention to that. So, okay, I had some mental issues during the year. When I lost my job. When you lose your job, who don't have any mental health issues that they're going to deal
Mhm.
with? When you walk away from $130,000 job, tell me what person is not that's not going to rattle.
No, exactly. Especially well, anything, we don't like change. Humans don't like change so much. So when something happens suddenly that you weren't expecting, because as I understand it, you were expecting to work another year and then retire naturally. So that was your plan.
Yes.
But then this happens and you have to leave earlier than expected. So Chris now says, I guess I wonder because I have learn that your level of anger is a result of fear and hurt. Just my personal idea.
Yes. And
Yeah,
and
anger will come from
betrayal.
yeah,
I had at least 10 people at that workplace that was working against me. It could have been bigger than that,
yeah.
but I survived.
He's just put a clarification on you being general public, not you personally.
No, it's okay, Chris. I don't take no offense. So we need to watch out. We need to establish these boundaries up front when you have these businesses and stuff like that. And don't allow people in access.
Yeah,
Limit people's access to you.
yeah. Limit the access, and so when you're dealing with people, ask yourself: does this align with my values? Is this is this the way I want to, is this information I want to give out? Is this the way I want to be treated? Am I willing to share this? And also think of the consequences, how you will feel if somebody comes back at you, because there's a lot of trolls around. So how would you feel if you put something very personal um, on Substack in a story, a post, or even in a note or on a live like this, and then you get a message or a comment from somebody saying, "Oh, what are you talking about? You da 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 da, whatever, whatever," um, and really have a personal attack, then you've got to think, how would I deal with that? Would I be able to take that, or would it make me think I'm a failure? I'm going to leave Substack, because that's the last thing you should do.
No, that would be the last thing I would do. Knowing me, if I leave that message up, it's going to bother me. I would delete the message and keep it moving. Period.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. There was a
Nobody.
time when I would have agonized about that. I would have, if I'd have written a post and had 30 great comments and one really horrible comment, I would focus on the horrible comment, of course. But these days, like you, I would just either completely ignore it, just don't do anything about it, just completely ignore it, because I think that hurts the people more than anything. What you don't want to do is come back and put fuel on their fire, because they'll just come back at you again, and then it's never ending. But just completely ignoring it, that where are they going to go from there? Or just,
That's their
if it's
issue. That's
really
their
hurtful,
problem.
just delete it and block them. That's all you need to do. Move on. They've gone then, haven't they?
I'm glad you mentioned that, because earlier last year, I responded to that person and I caused a ruckus in notes and people
Mhm.
were scattered. So,
Yeah,
so what I did instead, when I got one like a couple of days ago and it looked like it was a military officer said something, I deleted the message and kept going. I can't keep it up there because my mind keep going back
yeah,
to it, because
yeah,
I'm just that type of person. Because
yeah,
then I'll go back and explode. I'll just delete it. I deleted it and kept moving.
yeah. Delete it. Didn't see it. Forget it. Wasn't there.
Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
That's the good
sometimes
thing to do.
people because sometimes people do that on purpose to get a reaction from you.
Of course, yeah. They want a reaction. That's why they do it. And
Don't give them the satisfaction.
the more you give them, the happier they are. That's what they're living for. But if you
That
ignore them,
is
they'll move on to the next.
that's a narcissist. When you
Yeah,
ignore them, it kills them.
yeah,
Ignore them, block them, then they don't exist. Next.
yeah, exactly, exactly.
Yes. So we need to be paying people need to pay attention to their gut. Okay. If
Yeah,
your body tell you this person is not for you, listen.
yeah, yeah,
Leave that person alone.
yeah, yeah. If something doesn't feel right, then there's a message there for you. Always listen to that message. Don't just brush
Exactly.
off thinking, "Oh, I'm just being silly." You're not. You're not. And even if you are, you're still protecting yourself. So if it doesn't feel
Exactly.
right, don't do it. Don't say it. Don't give them an inch.
Absolutely. Because I've heard people say, oh, I wasn't feeling well, or some told me not to get on that plane. They didn't get on that plane. And they find out later that that plane crashed or whatever. Yeah, listen to your intuition. If
Yeah.
it tell you this person could be a shining knight, he could be the best looking man you've ever seen in your life. If your body tell you don't mess with him, don't mess with him. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. So Chris
Yeah.
is now saying, you've grown quite a lot, or quite a bit rather, Miss Margaret. You have a powerful voice and message. I totally agree. And I've said that to you personally myself, that since I met you, which I think was probably about 6, 7 months ago now,
No,
I've
no. Since November 24.
is it?
I came
Okay, so
November
over a year.
last
Okay.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, anyway, I totally agree. You've become calmer. You might
Thank
not
God.
think it. But you're a lot calmer than when I first met you. Um, and I think you are happier than you were.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%. This, with my neighbor dying, and this incident happening to me, it was really a blessing because it showed me that the reason that uh, narcissists keep attacking me is because I still have these wounds. Still have this mother wound and I have this father wound. Okay. And I wanted to talk about that because we fall prey to these narcissists because they see that we're strong, we're independent, we're kind, we're empathetic. Okay. They see that we're willing to abandon ourselves. We're codependent and we have low self esteem. And when people
Yeah.
see that, then they prey on that. Okay. They can
Definitely.
tell by our body language and how we uh, present ourselves. We become an
Definitely.
instant target. We become an instant target.
Yeah. And I mean, I found this when I had low self-esteem. It's almost like you've got victim written across your forehead, like
Yes,
like tattooed on
yes,
your head. Come and get me. I'm a victim. Walk all over me. I don't mind.
yeah. And then once they disrespect you the first time, then they'll see what the limits, you will allow them to get away with, that you're
Yeah.
willing to accept, and
Absolutely.
then they'll continue to the boundaries. There are no boundaries after that. They basically got you where they want you. Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to be paying attention to these things, okay? And listening to our bodies because when that mask come off, you don't know what's going to be behind it,
No. 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 I've
right?
seen it. Yeah. I've seen it time after time. I would never fall for those tricks now. But then I think because I don't have a low self-esteem now, I have a high self-esteem. I think it's healthy, and therefore I don't take the shit anymore. I don't need to. I don't need that crap. And I guess I'm happily married now. I've been married for, oh God, it'll be 28 years this year. So, second marriage. And I mean, the three previous relationships all were horrible, ended badly, but this one worked. And I think it works because I chose correctly. I didn't wait for somebody to come along. I chose who I wanted to be with, and that was the difference. Um, and I was a stronger person. I was a stronger person. So had he turned out to be like all the rest, I would have just got rid of him straight away because I was in the right frame of mind at that time.
As we talked about on the last live we did, that's because you're coming from a high vibration.
Right
And
vibration.
right. So if he was coming from low vibration, it would automatically repel and you wouldn't have took him anyway.
No,
So when
no,
you're coming from a place of abundance, these type of people cannot stick to you.
no, no. They can still
That
come at you, but it doesn't work because they're down here and you're up here.
exactly. So that's what I realized from this last situation with this narcissist that I was dealing with. Okay, I realized that I was at a low vibration in my life because I still had limiting beliefs, people pleasing, and all that. This person could see that and played on that, and that's what people are going to continue to do because that's what the world we live in today. People
Yeah,
prey on our weaknesses. It is what it is.
yeah,
Okay. Now, what they call this term that the narcissists use, they call it Darko. It's DARKVO. Okay. The D stands for deny. We see that with the president. You tell him something. Oh, that wasn't me. I didn't. That was
yeah,
Joe over there. That wasn't me. He used that, right? That's a narcissist tactic that they all use. It's very prevalent within the political system. Okay. Then they'll attack you. Okay. They'll attack the person that's confronting them, because he's been good at that. We saw President Trump use that on uh, uh, on his trail when he was doing that with Joe. He called him Sleepy Joe. Okay. That's like a
okay, yeah,
dig.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So he'll attack using all these different tactics to try to use you know, to cut you. And then they'll also use the R and the VO is like the reverse victim offender. They'll flip the script and make themselves look like the victim. and you're the perpetrator.
Yeah.
Okay? So they use all these different tactics to keep you off track, to keep you confused and don't know what the hell. Okay, what the hell? I thought it was this, and it's not this. So this is the tactics they use, and we need to be aware of these tactics to keep you off kilter, to keep you off track. So
Yeah.
you don't really know the real truth. And by the time you figure out all the real truth, the money is gone. It's gone, and you left high and dry.
Hmm. Yeah. 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 So let's summarize then what we've said today about being the power of speaking your truth and being vulnerable. So what do we want people to take away from this? Be
I
careful.
just
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, yeah. I just probably put myself at a bigger target, but that's okay because that's what my calling was, to speak the truth. And I'm gonna
Mm.
speak the truth until I'm dead and gone. Until the till the so
And on
um
MLK Day, that would be the day to do that, wouldn't it? Yeah.
absolutely, that's why I did it. And I just want people to be aware, to just be aware of your surroundings and who you allow in your inner circle. That's my father, the devil. He told me to keep my inner circle small.
Mm.
Okay. And he knew what he was talking about, the
Yeah.
devil himself. Okay.
Yeah.
So keep your circle small, and just pay attention to what's going on around you, and don't become a target.
No, I think that's absolutely right. Yeah, don't, uh, don't say things that you don't want everybody to know. Um, and make sure if you are telling somebody something, make sure you can trust them, because if you don't know somebody very well, then telling them your deepest secrets, you don't know what they're going to do with that information. So just be careful. Be careful on Substack. Be careful. I think this is more for, I know men get them as well, but women on Substack, be careful of your DMs. Don't accept things unless they say more than hello or hi, unless you want to put yourself in a position where you've got somebody asking you very personal questions, because that's what they'll end up doing, and you don't know what they're doing with that information. So just be careful. I think that's the final message, really. Just be careful out there. It's not safeguard yourself. Thank you, Kalpana. That's exactly it. That sums it up in one. Safeguard yourself.
Yeah, and it's not just a Substack. Protect yourself on all of these social
Yeah,
media
yeah,
sites. Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And dating sites and anything like that. No, I've never used a dating site. We didn't have them.
Me
Like,
neither.
thank goodness. I wouldn't want to.
Uh-uh. Uh-uh. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, but I would say that's probably the one place to definitely, definitely protect yourself and be careful.
Well, so
Okay.
you had a really good turnout. You had 37 people.
Well, they came for you, Margaret. 38 now, actually.
38.
They came for you, I'm sure.
Thank you so much, Sue. I really appreciate you. You are a friend, and I do trust you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And you're my friend too. Okay.
Thank you
And
so much.
so with that, lots of love. We will finish here.
All right,
Yeah,
thanks.
so we'll see you all again soon. Thank you then. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Bye.